What is going on, guys? In today's video, I'm going to be giving you the top 5 fastest killing weapons in Modern Warfare 2 right now. These best class setups will help you increase your KD, get more kills, and increase your chances of getting an MGB nuke. Now, if any of these class setups end up helping you out in any sort of way, do me a solid by clicking that thumbs up button, and also make sure you subscribe so I can keep you up to date with the latest top 5 best weapons in the game. With all that being said, let's just hop into class setup number 1. We have the TAC 56. Now, this is the #1 weapon that all pro players use, and the class setup I have built for it is a mixture of some of the attachments pros use and then a little bit of flavor from me to help you use it in pubs. So with that being said, my first attachment is a 40-round magazine. This is going to allow you to take out multiple enemies without having to reload. You could do the 60, it just slows you down a little too much for my liking, so that's why I stick to the 40. For the underbarrel, we have the FSS Sharkfin 90 underbarrel. We get aiming idle stability, which I love so much because there's no downsides. My weapon's going to increase in accuracy and recoil control at the cost of nothing. And honestly, this is all you really need because it already shoots very, very straight. For our next attachment, we have the FTAC Castle Comp. I use it quite a bit. We get horizontal and vertical recoil control. When you have this with the underbarrel, dude, you're good. The recoil is gone. That is the least of your worries now with the setup. For the barrel, we have the Tundra Pro barrel where we get damage range and bullet velocity. I've already discussed in a previous video, the thing did get nerfed a little bit and they decreased the damage range. So to increase and get it back to where it was, we need to throw this barrel on. And then my final attachment is the TV X-Line Pro. My main reasoning behind throwing this on is the aim down sight speed you get. I just love that quick, snappy feel. You just never know when an enemy is going to be right around the corner or they just surprise you. You need to be aiming down sights quick, and this is what that allows me to do. I also get sprint speed, so I'm able to get around the map a lot more quickly, and that's what allows me to get a lot more kills. Now, moving into the tuning, I tuned my underbarrel for the recoil stabilization and aim walking speed. I get best of both worlds. I get strafe quicker, making it way more challenging for the enemy to land shots on me. And then the recoil stabilization, again, the weapon is just going to be a lot more stable and usable. Now, moving on to the tuning for the muzzle, I went ahead and tuned this for recoil stabilization and then slightly gun kick control. I realized that tuning it for gun kick control actually hurt my weapon a little bit. It decreased the recoil control, so I tuned it to 0.05, and that seemed to be like the peak of the tuning right there. And this is just a fully dedicated attachment to recoil control. Moving on to the barrel, I tuned it for recoil steadiness and damage range. So you can see in the tuning chart, it heavily favors damage and range. So this thing's gonna kill a lot more quickly at those longer range engagements. And then the tuning on the stock, I did ADS speed and aim walking speed. So I just fully dedicated this attachment to mobility, speed, and quickness. Now, if we take this thing to the firing range, you're gonna see the thing doesn't have recoil at all. Laser beam, lasered. And it's just so, look at this. This is the mobility on it too. Unbelievable. It's so easy to use. This is why it's the #1 pro weapon. For our second weapon, we have the LACHMANN sub, aka the MP5. What I love so much about this is not only does it kill quickly, but the mobility is on a whole different level, at least for me personally, and I'm gonna show you how you could do that to your LACHMANN sub. So starting off with our first attachment, we have the 40-round magazine. Honestly, you can get away with the 50. I just prefer the 40. I think a lot of you may like the 50 a little bit more, so rock whatever you feel suits you best. For our muzzle, we have the Brewing Cubic comp, which does the same thing as the FTAC Castle comp, but it doesn't break down the stats that well because it's Modern Warfare 2, so don't worry. It's basically FTAC Castle comp. You could throw that on if you want. Yeah, you understand. You get horizontal and vertical recoil control, which is the exact same thing we had on our TAC 56. It gives you the same pros there, and it's just going to greatly reduce the recoil and bounce that the MP5 has. For the barrel, we did the FTAC M sub, where we get bullet velocity and damage range. This is going to help our LACHMANN sub kill quicker at longer range gunfights, and we also get recoil control. So, you know, while you're shooting at those longer range gunfights, you're also going to be more accurate with that given recoil control. For the laser, sorry, we have the VLK Laser 7MW. We get ADS speed, so we can be quick and snappy. The sprint to fire, that'll allow my weapon to come up quicker after sprinting. So a little bit of mobility pieces in this attachment, but we also get aiming stability. So we get best of both worlds, more accuracy, a little bit of an increase in mobility, but our final attachment is what really skyrockets the mobility, and that is a stockless mod. More ADS speed, more sprint to fire speed, W, is what we got on our laser. but we also get movement speed. And oh, dude, this is where you can kind of use your momentum to fly across the map, break people's ankles. It's so much fun to do, man. It's unbelievable. Now, for the tuning, there's not much to tune here. Starting with the muzzle, we did recoil stabilization and gun kick control. As you can see on the bottom slider there, you can actually tune this a lot further than we were able to on our TAC 56. And this just heavily favors the recoil control because we lose out on a lot of it due to our stock. So this really helps maintain that. Moving on to the barrel, we did recoil steadiness and damage range. Once again, it's very similarly tuned to what we had on our TAC. It's going to favor the damage and the range so we could be more successful at longer ranges with our LACHMANN sub. And then our VLK laser, we did aim walking steadiness and ADS speed. So when I'm aiming and walking, which is something I do all the time, my weapon's gonna be a lot more steady so I can manage the recoil of it. And then I got quick and snappy ADS speed on the bottom slider right there. And I could take this thing to the firing range and show you how not only do we just have great movement speed, but ADS speed's very quick. And then the recoil control on it, very, very manageable, especially right here in this medium range. As long as you're able to take out this guy with ease, you are chilling. It's unbelievable. This is a submachine gun, huh? For our third weapon, we have the current meta of Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2, the CRONEN SQUALL. Now, there's actually a secret way where you can get one-shot headshots with it, and I'm gonna show you that in the firing range after I give you the class setup. So, starting off, we have the 30-round magazine. I think the base is 20. It's not enough. Do the 30. 50's OD, and it's gonna slow this thing down a lot, more than you need it to. So go to 30, trust me, this thing kills so quick, you're not even gonna realize you have a 30-round mag on. We have the FTAC Ripper 56 underbarrel. We had to put one of the big boys on because the recoil control on this is a little bit of a mess, and you can see this greatly increases it by quite a bit. It's unbelievable. For the muzzle, we have the Seiken Tread 40. When you have this and then that underbarrel we have on, dude, that is all you need for recoil control. It makes the world of a difference, especially with the tuning, which I'll give you here in a little bit. But moving on, we have on the LR 6.8 barrel. This gives us damage range and bullet velocity. So this was going to increase those 2 to 3 shot kills at longer range gunfights. So this thing's just going to kill even quicker. It's so OD. It's unbelievable. And then my final attachment, I had no mobility like on this thing at all, so I had to throw some on with a B13 pad. We get aim walking speed. Once again, I love that strafe speed. It just makes it way more challenging for the enemies to land shots on me, so that's why I threw it on. We get sprint speed, so I just feel a lot more light on my feet. I don't feel super sluggish. And then ADS speed, which it was slacking in due to the attachments that gave us recoil control and accuracy. Moving on to the tuning for the underbarrel. Look, the accuracy is damn near maxed out. It's unbelievable. So I highly recommend trying to get the recoil stabilization and aiming idle stability tunings. Perfect. It's so, so good. The tuning on the muzzle, we did recoil stabilization and gun kick control, which, as you can see, we did a good job heavily favoring the recoil control there. The tuning on the barrel, we did recoil steadiness and damage range, which, as you can see, it favors a little bit of everything: damage, range, and accuracy. And then finally, the tuning on the stock, aim walking steadiness and aim walking speed. They go hand in hand. Not only are you strafing quickly, but your weapon is going to be easy to manage the recoil of due to what's tuning it for that. Such a deadly combination. It's unbelievable. Now, if we take this thing to firing range, I can show you how to one-shot headshot here. As you can see, I need them to stop moving. There we go. Not a one-shot headshot. Not a one-shot headshot. So let's just take them out real quick, right? Let them respawn with full health. And then you're gonna wanna change the CRONEN SQUALL to single tap rather than automatic, all right? And what that's going to allow us to do is one-shot headshot. One-shot headshot. So you can spam this pretty well, actually. As you can see, it's still semi-auto if you see on the bottom right-hand corner. It actually makes the weapon even stronger. So that's a little bit of a secret way to use the CRONEN SQUALL and make it even stronger than it already is. For our fourth weapon, this may come as a shocker, maybe not actually. We have the FTAC Siege, or the Tech 9. This thing up close, it's so deadly, and it's honestly so annoying to run into. So let me give you guys my setup for it, because this is like my brand new go-to secondary. If I ever run out of ammo in my primary, I am very thankful I have this. So for the first attachment, I have the 50-round drum. A lot of people like the 72 because you burn through ammo. This thing has a very high fire rate, and you can see that on the stats right there. But again, I'm using it as a secondary. I'm gonna rock the 50. If you want to run around with it as a primary, the 72 is definitely the better option there. For our underbarrel, we have the Rebel HX. Like I said, very high fire rate. We burn through ammo. We need the weapon's recoil to be actually manageable. So we get recoil steadiness, and then when I'm aiming and walking, I also get that steadiness as well, which is great. You also get hip recoil control, hip fire accuracy. So no matter how you use this, your weapon's just going to be a lot more accurate, which I love so much about it. For the barrel, I have on the Ratchet B. You get damage range and bullet velocity, so it will kill a little bit more quickly at longer ranges if you find yourself in those situations, which if you do, there's no problem with that because this thing can definitely handle that. For our laser, we have the FJX Diod, which is basically the leafy laser. ADS speed, sprint to fire speed, which we've been getting literally all video long, and then more aiming stability. So it's a lot quicker. And then we're also maintaining that accuracy that we're looking for. And then my final attachment, oh, this is what makes it so good. The FTAC folder. We get recoil control, aiming stability, but then you get sprint speed, which is so weird because I've never seen an attachment give you recoil control and sprint speed in the same attachment. So the weapon is going to be more accurate, but I also can kind of fly around the map like I have a true submachine gun in my hand. Such a great attachment. We need more of those. Now for the tuning, starting with the underbarrel, I did hip walking speed and ADS speed. The bottom slider, or the left slider, sorry, you barely need to even tune. You don't really need to mess with that, but I just did hip walking speed. The tuning on the barrel, I did recoil steadiness and damage range so I can kill a little bit more quickly at longer ranges like I stated earlier. For the laser, I did aim walking steadiness and ADS speed. So once again, when I'm aiming and walking, my weapon will be a lot more steady. It's what our underbarrel gave us, but I tuned it for the laser instead because we tuned the underbarrel for recoil specifically. And then the bottom slider, ADS speed, you need to be quick and snappy. It's so important in this game. And then we're moving on to the, oh yeah, the stock. I'm losing track here. Tune it for aim walking steadiness again, and then the bottom slider aim walking speed again. We already mentioned how deadly that is on the CRONEN SQUALL B13 pad attachment. So we take this to the firing range. Keep in mind, this is a secondary weapon. You shouldn't be able to use this any further than this guy, honestly. But right here, what? That's a full-blown submachine gun. It's not even a secondary weapon anymore. And then up close right here, unbelievable, man. I still don't know how this made it into the secondary category. And then for our fifth and final weapon, we have the KASTOV 762, which I find to be underrated. I think a lot more people prefer the ISO and the TAC since they're more accurate. With the right class setup, which I'm about to give you here, I promise you're gonna fall in love with the 762. So starting off, wild card attachment here. We have a high velocity, so the weapon's gonna shoot a little bit more quickly. The fire rate is a little bit slower, but with this, the bullets will fly out of the weapon faster. And it's that simple. Trust the process here. Moving on, we have the X10 Gravedigger Underbarrel. A huge increase in accuracy and recoil control. This and the FTAC Ripper are two phenomenal underbarrels when you need your weapon to be as accurate as possible. For our muzzle, I have the LOCKSHOT KT85, which again, it's the same goddamn thing as the other attachment to give you vertical and horizontal recoil control. Just pick and choose one. It doesn't break down the stats. They all do the same thing. So it's pretty much the same thing as the FTAC Castle Comp and all that nonsense. Can't believe that's even a thing in the game. Moving on, we have the broadside SCT stock. So I get ADS speed and sprint speed. So my weapon's just a lot quicker. I can just fly across the map with it. But I also am maintaining that accuracy trend we've been following with the aiming stability. And then my final attachment is the only type of mobility that I need on this thing, and that is sprint to fire speed. So the weapon comes up quicker after sprinting, and then ADS speed. Now for the tunings here, we tune this ammunition right here that we threw on for recoil smoothness and bullet velocity. So we tuned it for the bullet velocity that it gave us, but we also kind of got a little extra recoil attachment on this by tuning it for that. So you could see it heavily favors accuracy more than you would think it would. We head over to the underbarrel and we tune this for recoil stabilization and then aim walking speed. So I want to throw in a hint of like mobility, some type of speed in my underbarrel because the Gravedigger already does a lot of the recoil control for you. The muzzle, just fully dedicated it to the recoil control, just like we have in the past. The stock, we did ADS speed and aim walking speed, just heavily favored towards that mobility. And I think we did the same thing with the rear grip. Yeah, ADS speed and then sprint to fire speed. Now that that's over with, look at this thing bounces. The weapon bounces down. The thing bounces down. What? And it kills that quick with zero recoil? 7.62 is mad underrated. If you guys are paying attention, you could see that I have the same exact tactical, lethal, perk package, and field upgrades because they work for any weapon and any class that you're using. So if you're interested in trying out my whole loadout, there it is, rock it. It's definitely going to help you improve a lot. Now, if you guys did make it to the end of the video, just comment down below, top 5 best guns, all right? I'll be liking, hearting you guys' comments, and I'll see you in tomorrow's upload, only if you guys are subscribed to those notifications on, man, all right? You guys all stay safe, have a great day, and I'm out. Peace.